Hello and welcome back to Best Bets here on the channel. I'd like to welcome on Newsday's NFL's pick columnist, Joe Manniello. Joe, how you doing today?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
Doing pretty good. You had yourself a nice week this past week, 4-2. I went 2-4. Is another tough week for me. That brings your record to 38, 36-1, and I am at 33, 41-1 heading into week 15 here.
It's amazing how the season's almost over. It goes so fast.
It does. It really does. Every year I say the same thing.
It's also amazing that I wasn't sure they were even going to have a season, and it's amazing that, and they've had some issues, obviously some hiccups, but
right.
You know, this week we're getting 2 Saturday games, so every game by the end of this week there'll be a game played every day but Friday. I'm pretty sure.
Wow, love that. Gotta love it. Absolutely. So let's jump right into it. We'll start off with the Jets and the Rams. The Rams are favored by a whopping 17 points. Who do you like here?
Yeah, when I first saw the line, I kind of thought about taking the Jets, but because earlier in the year the Rams were, I think, 12 or 13 point favorites against the Giants, and they only won 17-9. So I thought about taking the Jets, but I just don't see the reward. You know, if the Rams win by 14, so be it. But I'm not going to take the Jets here. I'll take the Rams minus 17. Last week, Jets lost 40-3, and the funny thing was they scored first, so they were up 3-0.
Yep.
And they gave up 40 points. The guy missed 3 field goals. The team is just a joke. 0-16, it seems like guaranteed. But at this point, I don't see how they win a game unless Belichick loses on purpose so they don't get Lawrence. But I don't think he's that sly. But I just don't see how you could take the Jets here. The Rams on extra rest after beating the Patriots 24-3 last Thursday night, and they crushed them. And McVay is going to pick apart this Jets defense. I mean, I guess the Jets could have a backdoor cover here if it's like 31-10 kind of game and they score late. But if that happens, so be it. I just don't see any reason why you take the Jets here. So I'll lay the big number.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The 17 doesn't scare me, that's just sad. But the fact of the matter is, this team is terrible on the road. The only road game that they played this year that was relatively close was that Chargers game, and that was a typical backdoor cover kind of game where they hung around and the Chargers just continue to give games away. But every other one's been by double digits. This one has blowout written all over it. I think Sean McVay is going to do numbers on this secondary. And when you look at the Rams defense, they played really good football this year, and this Jets offense is just putrid. It's somehow worse than last year. So I think I don't even look twice at this 17 number. I'm pretty confident in this, so I'm taking the Rams as well.
Yep.
Let's get to the other New York local. The Giants are taking on the Browns. The Browns are favored by 5. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this is a tough one because you don't know if Daniel Jones is going to play, and in a weird way, it's almost you kind of root that he doesn't play because he didn't seem right last week against Arizona. Sacked 6 times, couldn't move in the pocket. I'm going to take the Giants, though, +5. I just think it's too many points. Sunday night game. By the time the Giants play, they'll know what everyone else did, Dallas, Washington, and Philadelphia. So they'll know, if they win, they're back in first place. If Washington loses or depending what happens in the other games. So I think there's just too much at stake here. I think they'll probably lose by a field goal or so. I don't think the Browns aren't kind of a team that blows teams out. And I know they played great against Tennessee a couple weeks ago. And then the Baltimore game was exciting. So I think they're the better team. I just think it's, 5 points seems like a lot. I think the Giants defense is, last week was just one game. The offense never got anything going. The defense was on the field the whole game. So I don't really put too much into that loss. I think it was more on the offense. I think the defense shows up here. I think they play inspired the way they did in Seattle a couple weeks ago. 17-12 stunning win. And I think it's a close game, like a 20-17 kind of game, 23-20. And I think the Giants could even win. Colt McCoy, he's not great, but the Browns drafted him, so maybe he has like a little payback angle there. I don't know, but looking for anything with these games. But I think the Giants defense shows up in prime time at home, so I think the 5 points is too much. So I'll take the Giants.
All right, I'm going with the Browns in this one -5. I don't love this game, but I just don't trust Colt McCoy. I know that they had that pretty impressive win on the road against Seattle, and they looked really good on that defense. But something about this Browns team, I think they're playing good football right now. I know they lost to the Ravens, but they've been putting up points, and I think this Giants magic is running short a little bit right now. I think Washington is starting to look like the team in the NFC East that's going to take this. Unfortunately, I don't think if Daniel Jones is healthy, I think this is maybe a little bit of a different story. But even if it's a hobbled Daniel Jones or Colt McCoy at quarterback, I don't think the Giants stand much of a chance. I think they end up losing this by a touchdown to 10 points. So I'm going to take the Browns here.
Okay.
As for our game of the week, let's get to it. The Chiefs and the Saints. The Chiefs are favored by 3 points in this game. Who do you like here?
Yeah, this is a tough game for me. I really don't have a great feel for it. I've been so bad on the Kansas City games this year. I think my record might be like 5-8 or 4-9, picking them or against them either way. But I'm gonna go with the Saints here at home. Yeah, I mean, they have won 9 games in a row, and then they surprise loss to Philly last week. I didn't see that coming. And Kansas City, I mean, it's so hard to pick against them. Last week they were down 10-0 at Miami, and that was 28-10 Kansas City. So they can score 2-3 touchdowns, but if you go to the bathroom, you come back and it's like, what happened? So it's never, it's always risky picking against them. But I think the Saints defense is going to show up at home. I mean, I don't know. Are the Chiefs going to go 15-1? I mean, I guess it's possible. Obviously, they have Mahomes. They're a great team. I think that, I almost said they're due. I hate that thing. I almost said it. But I just think the Saints defense is going to have a bounce back game here. And I think they might actually win the game outright. So I like getting 3 points at home with a really good team, a good coach. And I don't think Breeze is ready to return yet. But I think Taysom Hill's good enough to keep this close and possibly even win. So I'll take the 3 points with the home underdog.
Okay. I don't have the guts to do that. I can't pick against the Chiefs right now. This is not a easy game to call, though. I definitely think this is going to be a good one, but it's very difficult for me to pick against Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid right now. They are just clicking, and I know that they haven't been good against the spread. I believe they haven't covered 5 straight weeks. I'm pretty sure, but I think they break that streak this week. I think they win this one, and with it only being 3 points, I'll take the gamble that they win by more than a field goal. I'm willing to make that bet. I think they win this by maybe like 6 points, something like that. But
yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I think we get a good game here, but in the end, I think the Chiefs have just a little bit more in the tank. If Breeze was healthier, maybe this is a different story. But I like the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's definitely the safer play taking the Chiefs, but I don't know, I kind of have a feeling that the Saints might win the game, so I like getting the points.
All right. How about a best bet this week? Who's someone you're confident in?
Yeah, there's one game that jumped out to me, and I guess after, I thought the spread was kind of insulting, and then I realized, the starting quarterback might not be playing, so that's why. But Washington plus 5.5 at home against Seattle, I just don't get that spread. I mean, I get it because Smith might not play, but I read a report where he's going to play. So, I mean, I'm not a big Dwayne Haskins guy, and if he plays, then I won't feel great about it. But 5.5, to me, it's all about the defense. I mean, Washington's defense has just been phenomenal. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and they've allowed, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say around 13, 14 points a game. They beat the 11-0 Steelers. They last week they played great against San Fran. Chase Young had a defensive touchdown. Yep. I mean, their defense is just playing great, and I can see Ron Rivera feeding into the whole underdog. We're getting points at home. I mean, Seattle, I don't think people realize, Russell Wilson's great, DK Metcalf is great, Chris Carson's good, and, Pete Carroll's a good coach, but their defense is not good. And, I think this is going to be on a low-scoring kind of game, the way the Giants game was 17-12. I think it's going to be like a 17-14, 2017 kind of game. I think Washington might even win the game. I love getting 5.5 points at home. I think Seattle is overrated. I do not think they're a Super Bowl team. So I love getting 5.5. Washington's defense, I think, is going to show up again. They got a young, hungry defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if they win the game outright. So I love getting 5.5 points.
All right. Interesting. I'm going to go with the Dolphins -1 against the Patriots. For whatever reason, it just seems like the Patriots never seem to play well in Miami. There was that weird play at the end of the game 3 years ago, and there's just been trips for whatever reason. They just can't seem to get it done. And these two teams played in week 1, and it was a relatively good game, but I think that the Dolphins are just a completely different team right now. These are two teams trending in opposite directions. And I know, the stats with Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, I get that, but I just think that this game being in Miami helps a lot. And with it only being 1 point, I'm willing to take the risk there. And I think that Miami wins this game. I think it'll be a good one, but I like Miami at home here.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the rookie quarterback thing means anything because the Patriots defense has a bunch of guys missing. So, and I agree. I mentioned the same thing in my column how the Patriots always struggle in Miami, and that was with Tom Brady. So I don't think this team is going to hang with Miami.
Absolutely. How about an upset pick? I know you mentioned Washington, but is there another one you like?
Yeah, that's my best bet. As far as actually, I like a lot of underdogs this week. I always like to give you a couple other ones just in case if people are interested in it. I thought about Atlanta getting like 6 at home against Tampa Bay and Brady, but then I was cleaning up my den today and I saw Super Bowl. I think it was 51 article, and it's one of my best picks ever, even though it lost the Falcons against the Pats.
Yep.
And I saw that, and I was like, I'm still taking the Falcons, but that was like I don't know if it was a bad omen or not, so I'm not going to take it on our weekly picks. But I do like the Falcons getting points there. I like the Bears getting points against Minnesota, especially the 3-point game could come down to a field goal, and Minnesota's kicking game is a mess. So those are 2 games I like. But as far as my pick for this segment, I'm going to go with Carolina. Just double check. I think they're getting 10 points at Green Bay. Is that right?
It's 9.
Oh, it's 9 now? Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday night game in Green Bay. Green Bay just clinched the NFC North. They moved into the 1 seed with New Orleans losing, so they still have plenty to play for the 1 seed. I just don't know if they're going to blow out Carolina. Carolina has this season in their last 7 spots as an underdog they've covered 6 of those 7 spots. Last week they had a bad game against Denver, and they were favored in that game. So I don't know if players really look into that or not, but maybe when they're playing teams that they're evenly matched with, who knows? I mean, maybe they play better against, earlier in the year against Kansas City, they almost beat Kansas City.
Right.
They lost, I think, 33-31 and had a chance with a late field goal. They almost they almost won at New Orleans, and Joey Slye missed a 65-yard field goal. So they've really played well under Matt Rule, and I just think 9 points is too much. I was hoping it would be 10, but I still think 9 is too much. I think Green Bay wins, obviously, but I don't think it's a blowout, so I'll take the chance that it's a 7-point win. And also, even if it's like 30-16 with 4 minutes left, you can still get a backdoor cover there.
Yep.
I just think it's too many points for a young team. I mean, they're 4-9, but I think they'll be motivated to finish strong. Matt Rule's first year, young team. So if that team finishes like 6-10, that's a I wouldn't say accomplishment, but it's a good year. It's a good building block kind of year. So I love them getting points there, and I think it'll be a close game.
Okay, I like that pick. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys +3 at home against the 49ers. I just think the 49ers are reeling right now, and this Cowboys offense is playing a little bit better the last few weeks. I don't love the Cowboys by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think they're coming back in the NFC East, but I just look at this 49ers team, and I think they're done. I don't think they have anything left in the tank. I think they're going to limp to the finish line here, and I have no reason to believe that they're going to be able to go on the road and win a game against the Cowboys, even with all the injuries and issues that they've had throughout the year. I think the Cowboys win this one outright.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't understand why the Niners are favored by 3. It should be a pick 'em or maybe Cowboys -1. I'm assuming it's because Dallas, they beat the Bengals, so they're not putting too much stock into that kind of game.
Right.
But I don't get the spread at all. I agree. San Fran season is done. And I mean, they got a great coach in Shanahan and good players, but I just don't see the motivation level for them to even be up for this game. So I agree. I think Dallas will win the game.
Absolutely. So just to run through these real quick, both Joe and I are on the Rams -17 over the Jets. I like the Browns -5 over the Giants. Joe is going with the Giants +5. As for our game of the week, the Chiefs and the Saints, I like the Chiefs -3. Joe is on the Saints +3. Best bet, I'm on the Dolphins -1 over the Patriots, and Joe is on Washington +5.5. As for my underdog pick, I'm going with the Cowboys +3, and Joe is going with the Panthers +9. Week 15 in the books. Thanks so much for hopping on again. We'll talk real soon, Joe.
Matt, thanks so much.